I'm probably biased being a native Oregonian, but I just think the Portland events have been a real feather in the cap of players for years and years. There's always really big crowds. It's an important and prestigious win for anybody who can get it.
Maybe it's not even the beginning anymore of, I think, the next era of the classic rivalry. Every generation has one. We just love it as sports fans to play up the one versus the two, or the two versus the one. And I think right now the two brightest shining stars that we have in youngsters in the sport, Anthony Barela, Gannon Buhr.
Yeah, so Corey this year has been struggling at the beginning of the year, and then he's coming on strong the last couple tournaments with some really hot rounds. That tells me his mental game's really strong, and he's going to keep himself in it, and you can expect him to have a pretty good score tomorrow. If he connects all the dots, I think he's one of the wild cards that you could see really go low out here, because 5 under, just kind of breezed through the round, a couple mistakes here and there, didn't do anything special, and came out with a decent score.
I think it's going to be a great battle. I think it's going to be, shot for shot.
With eagle possibility on 18 and the tough birdie on 17, anything's possible. So it'll be tight.
Gannon's got to win. Anthony's got to win this season. There's a lot in the line between those two. I think it's an awesome rivalry that we get to watch.
Hello and welcome to final round coverage of the 2025 Northwest Disc Golf Championship presented by Latitude 64. We are again at Glendoveer East, one of the great venues on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, and you are watching JomezPro with Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling, and Paul Ulibarri.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. This is one of the premier stops on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, and this is one of the best days you're ever going to have for disc golf. Can't wait.
Hey, check this out.
Hey,
JomezPro Cicada Tour Series, they're back, and they look fantastic. This is a fairway driver. This is good for all arm speeds. It's really fantastic for just that nice and straight shot that everybody needs. If you want this, JomezPro.com. That'll really help us.
Cool. Anthony Barela, Gannon Buhr, they're tied. They have a 5-shot buffer on Corey Ellis and Kyle Klein. It is definitely a 2-horse race until it is not a 2-horse race. But right now, with those two, you got to imagine these guys have firm control of this tournament going into a big golf course where distance and accuracy are a premium. It's going to be a really fun battle.
Hole 1, I think a very important hole to start your round for these guys. Little par 4, 670, a lot of OB all over the place. This is the important part right here. Coming into the green, little slope. Get those nerves out early, because most likely you're going to have a little 20, 25 footer with a little bit of breeze coming at you.
The final round of the 2025 Northwest Disc Golf Championship. First up, co-leader at 27 down, throwing disc crap from Mesa, Arizona, Anthony Barela.
12 under yesterday with a bogey. The bogey was nearly an eagle. Incredible round from Anthony, going from third card to co-leader, taking that momentum into this final round.
Just a little chip shot for him right here.
So big. It is just a towering high spike hyzer forehand that went 440.
Representing Squash and Throwing Disc Mania, also a 27 down from Urbandale, Iowa, Gannon Buhr.
Gannon, that 97% C1X is representing a spit out. He has not actually caused a miss himself inside C1 in the first 3 rounds, and that is what he says is the big difference.
Ooh, that's shaving it pretty tight.
Right over the branch. Wow.
Actually passed Anthony.
At 22 down from Barbersville, West Virginia, representing Idio and throwing disc crap, Corey Ellis.
Another major champion on our championship Sunday, Corey Ellis.
Struggled with this shot yesterday. Pulled it a little tight to that tree. Let's see if he can make the correction. He's going to need to hang this one in between the flag and that tree. Hopefully a little more towards that flag.
He's one of the only, I think, 2 players in the field that is perfect inside C1.
Ooh, this looks tight. This looks really tight. And it's too
Wow. Just stayed turned.
From Norton Shores, Michigan, at 22 down, representing Squatch and throwing disc mania, Kyle Klein.
And another major champion here with Kyle Klein. Another player who's had some injuries last season and really held him back, but has been playing really well thus far in 2025. And his drive yesterday was the best I've ever seen.
Till this one.
I don't really know if I would prefer one over the other. They're just both incredible distance and accuracy. Yeah, yesterday he threw it to the pinch point, about as far as you can be before the fairway really shrinks. Straight 150 feet to the basket, or maybe 200.
Look at this little tight gap, Corey.
Oh,
has.
wow. Never seen anybody go through there. Sit. Yeah. Solid.
That's incredible. 295 to the pin, and elects to go for the much scarier tight line.
Ooh, this looks a little high. Get down.
Strong left to right crosswind. Making putting pretty tough on this green.
Just looking at all these people enjoying the day and these young guys who have dedicated their lives to disc golf, I'm just struck by a feeling of gratitude. And I just think how much we won the lottery to be born in a time when we can do something as stupid as throw frisbees around in trees and grass and people clap about it. And how easily it could be 1805. And the three of us could just be like, fun? When? When? You know? I don't know. I just think it's incredible, the game that we have these days.
I think about it all the time. Anthony off left side chains. His C2 putting yesterday in moving day was phenomenal.
Sure it was. Ooh, just hangs on.
Also left side, but able to stay in and take the 1-shot lead early. I think people might get their feelings hurt when you said something as stupid as, but I mean,
In the nicest way. In the nicest way.
No,
like I love how stupid it is. But I mean, when you think about the world and things that are actually important, frisbees aren't on the list. But the fact that we are lucky enough and privileged enough to let them be important to us, I think is awesome.
And it's amazing how much of an impact it makes to others, like you're saying. People
Totally.
spending their weekend to come out here and watch these top athletes perform at such a beautiful course.
I appreciate them all.
I have that feeling mostly when we do our putting games and we're at like the Mall of America, riding roller coasters and slinging discs into the largest mall. You know, just that. What is life?
Yeah, I felt it at the putting game as well. I might even said something about it then. I'm not sure.
A hole 2, par 3, 390 feet. 2 different routes you can go for, and it's going to be a tough head right to left crosswind once again, which makes this out of bounds on the left side walking path come into play a lot faster than you'd like. The forehand's got to be almost hyzer the entire way with a lot of power. If it stands up, it can easily turn over and find itself OB long.
Did this basket move any longer, or has it always been right here?
I think it's been here always.
Okay. Feels longer.
I have yet to really seen a forehand get super close here. Everybody's been pushing it kind of deep or short.
Yeah,
A lot of out of bounds on
Yes,
my
I've been seeing a lot of out of bounds long.
Yeah.
It does play over par, 0.11 over par.
See, this is in danger, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
so
it's not even
flat.
close.
Yeah, as soon as it comes out flat like that, it's too late for you.
Would you call this a bonus birdie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Absolutely. Looks like we don't have the highlight here, but oh, that could have helped maybe. I don't know.
Could be kind of sandy. Doesn't seem like it found that hazard area.
Pretty grassy.
I saw Isaac somehow throw backhand into the bullseye.
He would.
Inside line or outside line?
Inside.
That man is a marksman.
Inside line, bullseye.
That's a marksman.
That's
Just
crazy.
one of the most
Yeah,
accurate
just
players in the history
right in the
of the
bullseye.
sport
It's
to be
like,
able to do that.
What?
Corey's actually in not the worst place. It's going to have probably 150 in. There's going to be a bunker in the way, but pretty wide open hyzer line.
Doesn't look fun.
It
It looks touchy.
was pretty touchy. He did very well with this.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice.
I walked over the line. It wasn't as bad as I think that camera angle made it look.
Gotcha.
Came up short of the sand.
I like what AB was doing there with the height. He's one of the few players who has enough power to get it that high and still carry the distance.
Yeah, you're talking about the drive.
The drive, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And just a little bit too high, caught the limb and dropped down safe. And Kyle will be suffering a bogey, not something he can afford to do, trying to chase these guys who are currently 5 ahead of him right now with Gannon.
Gannon, chance to take control early, and he's going to do it.
That's a big putt. 2 birdies early for Buhr, and that's going to give him some early separation. We talked a lot about Gannon specifically. Was talking about how difficult this front 9 can be to score, but how comfortable he feels in the back 9. So getting some early birdies for him probably eases up some of the tension he might have going into this tough to score front. Only 8 birdies on the day, and that's obviously with a cut field, 46 players.
But the best players.
But the best players, only 17% of them were able to get
Crazy.
the birdie.
Seemed impossible.
That win
What,
made
Nate,
it
did
really,
you get
really
it?
tough.
I did not get it today.
Okay.
You didn't get it yesterday either.
I went out of bounds and made
But
the
you
putt
saved-
from out of
saved the
bounds.
putt.
Today I had about 40. A little bit of big fat tree in the way. Tried a little Annie putt.
Well, 370 here. Put it on a little Anheuser, right to left crosswind today. Put it on a little Anheuser through the big gap. All these guys are righties. Let it swing through or miss all the way around like we saw Calvin do. Round 3. And it looks like that might be what Gannon's trying to do. He ends up hitting the big tree, though. Sits. I've seen some go off of that and go right out of bounds on the backside.
Yeah, those big ones can almost be like a little ramp at the bottom. If you hit it wrong, it can kind of climb the tree and then
We've seen that a few
coming back
times.
down as a roller.
Oh,
That's a good ramp.
what a shot. Great shot. Crazy angle. I don't even want to know how overstable that disc is.
That's got to be just
oh
a
my gosh,
absolute
tank.
beefcake. Yeah, the thing is not moving far for other players.
Oh, this needs a little help, I think. They got a little help.
You got the brakes right in time.
Oh, now that's how you're supposed to throw it, I think.
Yeah, it feels like that's the way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Great shot from Kyle.
Absolute park job. from right around 50 or so. Over the top.
And extra.
Yeah.
Corey's kind of been deadly from this range the last couple rounds. Doesn't quite get the height on that one. Awkward little putt, honestly. He likes to put it out there with a little hyzer. Had to flatten that one out.
A little bit of match play here, perhaps, for AB, knowing that Gannon has a little bit of a comebacker left. Put some pressure on him with a good birdie putt made. Center.
Nice.
A much-needed birdie for Anthony. There you go.
Wow.
That wasn't a spit.
That was not a spit out. That's a legitimate C1 miss. And that would be the first one that he's really had all tournament.
He's going to give back those strokes he worked so hard to earn on the first two.
Just like that. Tied up again. And Kyle with a nice bounce back birdie on 3 with just a gorgeous drive. The wind, just, you don't really feel it at the warm-up green. And then you get on the course, and these greens are so gusty, and the fairways all of a sudden, it just starts blowing when you stand on the tee pad. And you step off the tee pad, it's not blowing anymore for some reason. But whenever it's time to throw, it just feels like the pressure is on, and the conditions really, they get tough.
Hole 4, par 3, 450. Again, kind of a head crosswind from the left to the right here. I think this hole's probably never played harder than it has these last 2 days. It's usually pretty attackable, but you certainly have to think twice before you lay the roller down in these wind conditions. With the wind coming across, it feels like it's maybe going to blow over towards the right side OB or just be super short. Going to see Barela go to the huge forehand. One of the only guys in the field who has any kind of chance at making birdie with this shot. And I think he might be in some trouble here. Oh, good big skip. Yeah, it's going to be a long putt. It's pretty good.
I kind of like the height, honestly.
Holy
It scared me.
moly.
It scared me. I thought it might flip a little more that low, but he did well.
I mean, that is such a monster shot. Watch this. Kyle's going to go out and underneath.
The gut shot.
Perfect flex. Get the skip. Yes. Short. Way short. Anthony outdrives him.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like a power move, down the middle.
Yeah.
That's like a typical day distance line. That's insane. Corey. Oh, you can't throw that any better.
Nope. I don't think you can.
Nice.
That's
Probably
nuts.
20 feet, maybe.
That's a
less.
special drive.
Yes.
The best way to avoid that headwind is to take that low route. If you have the skill to do that, then do that.
This is the shot that I'm so impressed a lot of people take. Just trying the turnover. Like right to left crosswind. The mistake is complete cut roller like that.
Yeah.
Roller.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nose up, straight out of bounds. Like that is,
Common.
that takes some angle control. I'm still so impressed with how far he threw that forehand. 'Cause that's his
into the
most
headwind.
overstable, like a Nuke OS, like whatever your overstable, not supposed to go anywhere disc is.
I feel like we've seen him make the birdie before with the forehand, but not probably in a headwind.
No, this wind is so ridiculous.
A bit obnoxious. It's hard to get into a rhythm when every hole's, it's just kind of gusty, and it's not, it's hard to really predict what it's going to do.
Oh,
I think it's the amount of wind that I find like challenging and interesting. Like actual windy days, I don't really like. I find that just super stressful.
Yes.
I found the wind out there today to be like enough to make you think, maybe question something.
It's like a puzzle.
Yes.
It keeps your brain on high alert, but it's not dictating the action so much as it is just an extra level of the challenge.
That's how I felt anyway.
I'll take the blazing wind over this stupid little gusty annoyance. I'm not a puzzle guy.
Corey Ellis, one of 4 players to pick up the birdie on hole 4. Ty Love, Albert Tom, and Harry Chase.
Good little comebacker right there after he missed the short one on the last hole.
A huge birdie there for Corey.
Yeah, that was
How many on that card? None. Or like how many on the day? I mean.
I just said 4. I was just,
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I just named them.
I definitely try not to listen to you as much as you think.
No, I think you don't
look
like
at Rick.
you listen to me exactly as much as I think you listen to me.
Ricky absolutely parked on 6.
Isaac did go ahead and change his hat. That's hilarious. He was wearing an orange hat, and I told him that he looked like a mallard duck with the green shirt and the orange hat. And I was like, "You're sending mixed signals. You got the green shirt for Oregon, you got the orange hat for the Beavs."
Nice.
And he said, "I'll change my hat." I said, "That's not what I was saying. It's just I like that you look like a mallard duck."
Mallard duck that gets birds.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
He's quacking right now for sure.
I can't believe Corey went low beamer.
That is so impressive.
Sheesh.
That's a
The
10 out of 10.
versatility. The versatility to go, oh, headwind. Do you think he practices up the middle?
I
Just to be
wouldn't be
able
the
to
least bit surprised.
Go and do it. It's awesome.
He's not a roller thrower. He's just a standstill sometimes. I'm just going to zap you 450 on a line type thrower.
Yeah,
That's
he sure is.
the perfect shot for him, really.
Well, if that's a headwind on the last hole, this is for sure going to be a headwind as well.
Correct.
9-10 down the hill. These guys will have a problem with that bunker if they're not careful, especially with the headwind, because you're kind of like, oh, I can't get there.
Yes.
And these guys are absolute boom daddies.
Yeah, and then it flips the disc.
Yep.
It flips it into
Exactly.
the extra distance.
So that would be my fear for these fellas.
1 step, 2 step, Corey goes swings.
See, if this gets on Anheuser, it's definitely could be in trouble. But he threw it so straight, maybe not.
Ooh. Oh, no.
That is just heartbreaking.
I mean,
so close.
And
that's
look
a
at
bad stance.
and the
Yeah,
downhill.
no run up, right? But if there was anybody,
If there was anyone to do it,
there was anybody who could dial up 400 standing still, it's that man.
you still hate the stance. Anthony going to do whatever he can to avoid that fate. Goes really overstable. It's going to swing wide left.
Yeah, this is short for sure.
It's a good shot.
Oh. Close to the OB line.
He could bite more off, for sure. But
But he
doesn't need to.
Yeah.
he doesn't need to.
High. Shouldn't have the distance for the bunker, right?
No.
Yeah, good.
That's a
That's perfect.
perfect shot.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that got pretty flat.
Yep. He throws it really far, too, from what I remember.
Perfect. Right next to the purple disc there.
Forehand, 440 from here, maybe more. In other words, not really that far for him.
Doesn't look
Don't like it.
enough.
Yeah,
Yeah. Across is good.
across is good. So it's definitely a much different start for AB today. Yesterday at this point, he was putting for his 4th birdie of the round, and now he's got outside C2, or he's in C2, but a long C2 look for his 2nd.
Well, also, they're not even the same courses with the wind.
Yeah, I feel like the situations are pretty similar with the holes. Do you not?
Not even. No.
Okay.
I really don't. Nate, you were out there.
As far as how windy it was,
Yeah.
I think there was maybe a little more.
Whoa.
Whoa, Obi long. I think I'm between you guys. I think, like usual, I kind of take that middle road. I think it was a little bit windy both days. I didn't find one day to be like extremely different than the other, though. I think maybe a little stronger wind today.
Gannon can't believe that went long.
Oh, here we go.
Wow.
And he's got the Sendy disc in his hand.
I mean, this is something he really prides himself on.
Well.
Wow.
Good.
No one else gets over.
That was cool.
Mm-hmm. Gives himself an opportunity.
I mean, we could just play both holes of this one and yesterday's holes right next to each other, and you'll see those flags up there just ripping in this
Sure,
one. And
sure.
Yesterday they were kind of down, but I don't know.
You were on the tee. I was on the course. It's much different. I agree.
Oh. Stay safe
What?
somehow.
I don't
Probably
know.
because of that massive tailwind.
I don't know.
Putting
I
it
don't
out
know how
there.
you airball that putt and stay in bounds.
Not
Again,
him. I mean, the pace he's putting on it. I would thought for sure that he had just putted that into the water.
Kind of a good break, but also, man, a long comeback putt into the headwind for the bogey. Already going to lose a shot. Trying not to lose 2.
Wow.
That his chalk literally just did a tornado.
It does look windy right now, I gotta say. It really does.
No.
For the par, Corey. Incredible 3rd shot.
Oh, no.
Oh no, is right.
Don't do that. Oops. I don't know if that first putt was considered inside the circle or not, but if it was, that would have been his first miss all tournament C1.
There you go. Gannon's percentage taking a bit of a nosedive, too, as of late. Got to think at least one, maybe both of those last 2 putts he just missed were in the circle.
I can't remember the last Gannon Bird double bogey. It's hard to get doubles when you're putting for birdie on all the holes.
Huge birdie from Kyle.
No kidding.
Doing what he has to do to kind of try to bridge that gap.
I mean, Barela is 4th par of the round. Gannon Bird double bogey. Kyle does have that bogey on 2, but chipping away here and there, and all of a sudden he's back in the mix for sure. Just 2 back of Gannon now. I think he was 7 back after hole 2.
Over to Ricky Wysocki. Tee of hole 8, 500-foot downhill par 3.
Oh,
Wow.
could you imagine?
Almost just knocked it in there.
Why did that look like that was in the air for 1.3 seconds? Big time to take the birdie for Kyle. 2 shots on Corey, 3 on Gannon, 1 on Anthony.
Hole 6, par 3, 415 downhill. Most players are going to take this right side line like we saw Isaac and Ricky recently. Trying to swing it outside all these trees, over the OB line, bring it back in with a big skip to the left.
Yeah, you got to be careful with getting it low on the anhyzer. There's a little right to left crosswind here. Makes it a little bit tougher. If it's low with that annie, it wants to pull it to the right. Kyle been really great with his angle control and height. And then he just throws all that out the window. Out the window.
I agree. His angle control has been really, really nice this week. But just misses the anhyzer angle by a little bit there.
Oh, no.
That is not coming back in bounds.
Wow.
Shockingly poor throw, especially after the drive he threw on 3. You know, it looked like he had that angle down pat. Just got away from him. There's one.
Really great shot.
There's one.
Yeah, I think his height was great. Angle, not too much of an anhyzer. Perfect. So, maybe gets a couple. Now, big opportunity for Gannon to get him right back. Is he going to get lucky? Early gap? Yeah, he sure is.
Okay.
Gives him a look.
Yeah, gives him a look. Lucky in the early gap for sure, but it also does get the big skip left, and he's not close to the pin. He's probably 45 to 50 away. But certainly an opportunity to get 2 strokes. But you can imagine
Anthony has to be like 100 short, right?
if not more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was turned over early out of bounds. I think he's probably
Yeah.
160, 170.
Yeah, spent a long time OB, yeah. You can see it here. Certainly not a putt.
Oh, no. Full throw.
Oh, this is not
Whoa.
good. But it looks like he didn't get right behind that massive tree. If you're behind it, there's no stretching.
Yeah, go
You're
ahead and lay it
thinking
up.
like, forehand make. Kyle, no other options. This angle is so tough to see. There we go. Yeah, a little 50-footer. Checking that crosswind.
Misjudged. Gannon after the shaky putt on 3, the missed comebacker, and the 3 putt on the green and 5, the miss on 6. Not sure exactly what's going on, but that wind is certainly playing very difficult right now for Gannon. And after his 2-under start and after the first 2, who could have possibly guessed he'd be 1 over on the round after 6? Pretty surprising.
Yeah, pretty slow from both of our leaders. Don't have all that much time to keep that kind of pace up before the field comes back and
Isaac is out there getting birdies, wind or not. He is out there doing some damage on the course, and field is definitely getting closer. You had said something yesterday, Nate, about what would it take for, when the question was asked, what would it take for someone else to get back into the mix? You said it takes 2 to tango, referring to, they've got to screw up, someone else has to do well. But really the answer, it takes 3 to tango. Gannon
at least 3.
and Anthony have to mess up, and someone has to do well. So
Maybe it's more of a line dance. Hole 7, par 4, 710 feet. Starting pretty seriously uphill. See a lot of players go roller, low backhand. Anything that gets up to the top is a success. And then you've got to just navigate your way into this recently lengthened pin. See a lot of guys going wide and trying to take their chances with a skip in late. Pretty tough birdie to get.
Did you try that big forehand around all the stuff, or did you end up going with the back?
I did the roller.
Oh, roller, okay.
Both.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's just a horrible spot to be. It's safe.
Yeah, it's safe. The OB line doesn't start until after the mandatory. But
Okay,
yeah.
but it's really pinched.
Yeah, the angles, yeah, not what you want. I just hate that hit that limb. Absolutely sent. It takes so much courage to put height on this low ceiling tee shot, and the reward is great. And Kyle pushed it to the limit and got punished.
But I think it's an important feature of the hole.
Totally. Yeah, that's ideal height, but it's even a little bit conservative. Gets to the top of the hill, but if you really want to go for that big distance and make that next shot shorter, you got to push what Kyle tried. Pretty heavy on the cut for AB, but doesn't hit any tree on his way up the hill. And actually, he is rewarded with a very open line through the trees to the middle there.
Oh, this is hit hard. Is it going to...
Wow.
Oh, my.
That was huge.
I
Good
bet
thing
he
that-
doesn't have any idea that was that close to going out of bounds. Maybe once he walks up there, he'll realize.
Honestly, it was closer to hitting me in my cart than it was to going out of bounds. No one said anything about that shot coming over the hill, and it blended in with the grass, and it was inches from hitting the cart. I would have felt horrible.
Look at this one, dodging carts, strollers, and all manner of things.
This one does find OB, and just as big of a roller as you can throw, and unfortunately just keeps it too wide. It tried so hard to get back in bounds.
Oh, what a shot, even to get in those trees. How close is that, Jerm?
It's deep, 50 feet or so. It finds those entry firs that are just kind of blocking the entire entrance to the green. It was a good throw from where he was, but you just got to kind of play dodgeball once you get up inside C2. And Gannon gets one of those little half pipe fir situations, rolls backwards. Interesting thing about his lie here, he has the exact same line as yesterday when he made that putt from his knee, but just another 25 feet back. He can see the pin through the same tiny gap, but the angle is all thrown off from where he rolled to. Easy par for Kyle. That's a great second shot.
Clean up the bogey.
That'll take Corey back to even on the round. He's got to start stringing some birdies together while these guys at the top aren't putting together the hottest rounds if he wants to get any closer.
Oh, get in there. Wow, what a
Ooh,
putt.
Fat Tony. Beautiful.
Big putt.
Gets it right off the rim. Watch this thing bounce up into the high spot of the chains. Oh, gimme.
Wow. That was cool.
Oh,
Way up
didn't
inside
think,
the
yeah,
band.
I didn't think it looked like that, but What a cool Jomez.
That really was a great effort. Tough line to hit. Very touchy from that distance. It's going to end up taking the par and losing a stroke to AB. Corey's going to lose 2 shots to the leader.
Yeah, Anthony and Gannon are just going back and forth right now, exchanging strokes.
I think they've got the same score on a single hole thus far. But yeah, that's a good way of putting it there. I mean, it's just punch after punch back and forth. Gain 1, lose 2.
But it's not the kind of punching we thought.
No.
There's a little bit of self-inflicted damage as well. I mean, not
for
quite
sure.
the battle we had envisioned.
Yeah, hole 4, they both took pars, and that's it so far. With all the changes, they've always remained within 2 shots of one another.
Hole 8, par 3, 500 down the hill. Ricky gave us a nice little route to take. Almost puts it in the bucket. You want to get your overstable disc and throw the anhyzer out over the OB, swing it back as best you can. Really technical, long throw right here. And when you hit it right, I don't know if there's another hole that feels as good.
Very rewarding, for sure.
Oh.
That was so close to hitting the perfect line, and now he's left with a very tricky up and down.
I got to see if Gannon throws the low route again today. Before that, Kyle hits it. That's it.
Yeah, that looks good.
Oh, hits a branch, nose up. That's okay.
Almost exactly where we saw Ricky land his shot.
Mm-hmm. He went underneath all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Just trying it again today.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, that's crazy. And really imaginative.
Just to have the nose control
Yeah.
to know you're going to be able to get it through there and not turf the shot.
Well, and it's like that
gonna be tough.
Anheuser's kind of his thing.
Yeah, you're right.
So for him to go away from that and just beam it low, surprising to me. But you get this whole 1 out of every 2 times you play it. You take those odds and you move on.
Corey went in a tough spot, just like AB. He's going to have to go way around Big Heiser.
Wow, you weren't kidding.
He needed all the height to get all the way back. That's a great shot. A pretty wide open shot for AB, actually.
Easy to go deep here.
And yeah, it just barely does.
That's good.
You know, we're talking about Summer Breeze, the DD3 that you see Gannon throwing all the time, that yellow disc. He's looking at his bag in warm-ups. This one has Winter Breeze written on it. It's just the winter version of it. He's got so many discs that have just names written on them. They're just silly from his friends. That's for the hardcore fans.
I wonder what the difference is.
This one's a little bit colder. A little more burr in the air when he throws this one.
That looks so good.
Yes. Nice save.
A clutch save from edge of C1. That putting has been huge for Anthony. So easy after a big putt like he had on 7 to just let one slip, give one back. Finally, Kyle, after this tremendous drive, will have this for the birdie. Three under on the round now.
Kind of slowly just creeping in there on these guys.
Sure is. Just one back of Gannon now. And 3 back of Barela. It's no longer a 2-horse race, I'd say. At least not on the card. Let's check in with the field and see how it's looking out there. Well, okay, Isaac Robinson's tied with Gannon. Is that Sexton in 5th place?
Sure is.
Making moves.
All those Masters wins, you say they don't help.
I think they helped.
I think they're helping.
Yeah, I think they actually helped. I didn't know for sure, but I'm starting to feel more sure.
It's pretty awesome to see, man. He's been out for 6 months, folks. Nursing the elbow?
Yes.
He's back like he's 20 years old again.
I don't know about that, but
20,
like
25?
he's 36 years old
yeah,
again.
probably like a confident 29. That's nice.
Ooh. Good spot right there. Kyle, dead middle. I don't know if you really want to be dead middle here. Kind of blocks off the hyzer a little bit if you can if you're behind that tree. Let's see how far he got. But more left or more right, typically past the first set will open it up a bit more. I think that's why AB's going sidearm here.
Catch a little bit of that hard pan.
That's enough.
Yep.
It's a tricky approach. You got to roll the dice a little bit. A lot of trees up there, but distance obviously won't be an issue from there.
I think the more open gap is the really wide hyzer, and I think that's more accessible going right, but that's also the tighter line, which is what he's trying to do. If you get stuck behind here, you're kind of toast. You got to take on the luck gap.
Yeah.
In one of the most Corey Ellis type of throws possible. Corey Ellis throws a shot that only Corey Ellis would throw.
How do you mean?
It's just a laser beam, pushes in the ceiling, so confident. Huge follow through with the backhand just rips all the way around his body. It's just classic Corey Ellis form. And sure, other people take that line, but I love the way he hits those gaps.
Yeah.
Gannon's got a tough line. He's got the low ceiling and going uphill. That was tracking nicely. Oh, a little slip there for AB. Gannon said the strangest thing to me while warming up. He just confidently told me that he was going to be 2 back of Anthony after the front 9, and that he was just going to play really well in the back 9. That was a weird thing to say, but like at this point in the round, I was looking at the scores and I was like, well, he's 2 back of AB, and they're both probably not going to make their putts. Like, How did he know? It's a really weird thing to say, but he had confidence in it. The way he said it, I believed him. I didn't believe him after he was 2 up on Anthony after 2.
Sure.
But I'm starting to believe him now. Another really nice shot from Kyle, and Corey also banks off the fur and back to about 12 feet from the pin for birdie. Much needed.
Some major power to be able to get chain high from that distance. Is that almost 90?
With control. You know, a lot of players can muster that kind of speed, but it's a little shaky. That was flying smooth and felt very controlled. And that tailwind really slammed Gannon's chances, but also a lot of control in that uphill bid with a standstill.
Another birdie.
Yeah, I mean, that draws him even, doesn't it? For second?
Right, yeah.
I mean, maybe not, because there's players up the course. It
No,
might
on
not
the
actually
card, though.
say second,
Yeah.
but, you know, those guys have a few holes on them. So as far as guys in this group,
Yeah. Yeah, Isaac is definitely firmly in the mix.
sure.
But they're not playing catch up to Isaac. The way that the lead car was playing catch up to AB yesterday, Isaac still is at a deficit in that he has less holes to play without having the lead. But he's certainly a factor right now. But it's become a 4-horse race. And we've got 9 holes left. And this is awesome.
I agree. It's going to be who can kind of right the ship and put together some consistent good golf. Put a little run on the other guy, because so far it's been kind of a little bit of this and then backsliding and some loose shots, but I don't expect that to continue. Like you said, Gannon's confident on the back 9. I think AB probably feels the same way.
He told me, he went on to say he's going to birdie all the holes he birdied yesterday and a little more. So that's what he said. So we'll see if that comes true. But either way, he's got some catching up to do right now. And AB's looking pretty confident. He's not birdieing all. He hasn't played his best yet. But he right now holds the cards. Speaking of holding cards, do you have any information that we could hold on to after this front 9's conclusion?
Oh, like just advice?
Yeah, just something.
Yeah, man, I think, like, if you're looking at trying to improve your fitness, get a pull-up bar. Don't even do pull-ups. I'm not even asking you. That's a lot to clear. Just do dead hangs.
Just dead hangs.
Just do some dead hangs. It's pretty easy.
Wow. Yeah, okay. Yeah, like and subscribe to that. That's yep.
Watch your body and I feel that sunshine.